Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and I have partially shuffled this deck. I'm just going to use the Radiant Rider Waite, and there's so much on the news about all 43 of the out of our 50 states. I'm going for voter suppression tactics. So I was thinking about, well, what do I do? Do I read on Georgia first, or do I read on, I was thinking about reading on 43 states is crazy. So I thought what would be more efficient would be to read on HR1. It's HR1 in Congress, and it's already passed. It's already passed the House. It's the For the People's Act, named after John Lewis. And in the Senate, it'll be S1. So it's gone through Congress, but it hasn't gone through the House. It's gone through the House. It hasn't gone through the Senate yet. So I want to read on the success of this bill, because it'll expand early voting, and it creates, automatic voter registration. I remember that. What else? Something about redrawing the congressional districts, the gerrymandering that happens. They're going to, I guess there'll be, states would establish a bipartisan, independent type of, I don't know if you call it a council or a commission. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, maybe a committee. To redraw those congressional districts every 10 years. And then, what else? There was something about, the best part, requiring presidents to release their, I think it's 8 or 10 years worth of tax returns before they can even run. Well, that's what needs to happen. And then there was also a part about people who had previously been incarcerated, if they, served their time and they were released, then they could have their voting rights restored. And probably that's for felonies. I would imagine that the rule wouldn't be so strict for misdemeanors. And then another piece of it, I think, had to do with I could be missing parts of it, so you guys should look this up. But the rest of it, I think, if I just remember right, there was something in there about voters being automatically registered. So I don't know if that would be part of this. Now, census only happens every 10 years. So I don't know how they would do that. DMV, of course. There's probably other ways. So anyway, I think I've shuffled well enough. What I'm going to do is pause the camera and drop it down so you guys can see me draw the cards, and you can see the relationship through the cards better. And thank you so much, you guys. I think there's 3 or 4 of you who recommended I look at Ellie Dreams Down Under to see how she did it. And it's like, oh yeah, we could do that. I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. Let's see, the forces in motion. Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The challenges. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, and then I think I'm seeing the bigger picture here. I think I'll do 5 cards up here just to show the progression of how it'll go. And if I need more, then maybe I'll use a different system, like the Kipper or Lenormand. I'm not sure, or Lenormand, I should say. But anyway, 5 cards for how it's going to go. What will be the progression? And of course, the last card would be the outcome. How successful will this be? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Magician, King of Wands reversed. Oh, of course, Queen of Cups hanging over it all. And then we have the Five of Cups. That's a little troubling to me. And then the Seven of Cups reversed. So maybe, hold on. Might end up drawing some clarifiers. How about I'll do one more for the challenges. And then, well, actually, let me just see what card kind of wants to push itself up. One more card for the challenges. And we'll see how, insurmountable those things are. Yeah. And then at least one more card here for the outcome, for whether or not, how successful or not, literally I want to know, it's a yes or no question, which is usually challenging with the tarot, but it doesn't have to be. I want to know, will it pass through the Senate? Will S1 pass? Okay, it's this one right here, if I can get my hands on it. So there's a battle. The Wheel of Fortune. I think I'm going to have to use a different system afterwards. Okay, so, but anyway, for the forces in motion here, with the Ten of Wands reversed, I mean, you can see straight up it's a huge battle. It's a big burden. When it comes through reversed, that brings us into the area of unfair burdens. Burdens that are not, it's not fair. Well, the entire reason for HR1 and S1 is to make things more equitable, more fair. So the forces in motion, like all into this one card, actually says it all. This is a card of failure. It's a card of delegating and delays and pushing things off your back and not taking responsibility. It can be, like if you get this card personally and you've been under a lot of stress, then the answer would be, stress is about to be relieved, or you need to do something to get the stress off of you. So the forces in motion here with this card being a failure, that's troubling to me. That's troubling, but it isn't the outcome card. But these outcome cards are troubling to me too as well. I really hope well, let's just see. Let's just keep going. Okay, so the challenges with the Four of Cups reversed, I mean, straight up, this card is about apathy and getting offers that you don't care to have. It's kind of sometimes a refusal to see the truth that's right in front of your eyes, or to go for something that would help. And, opening to the forces of love and all the cosmic love in the universe. This person has their arms folded and is like, no, I'm looking at what I have over here, but I don't like it either. But now when it comes through reversed, that changes everything, because it has us being proactive and very, very focused and enthusiastic and a brand new goal, and finally getting out of the apathy and taking action. So that's been the biggest challenge. So maybe these cards are speaking more to the past. I mean, thank God, thank goodness, thank everything to Stacey Abrams, and there was someone else that helped her. of course, there's John Ossoff and Warnock. Thank goodness to these people who got the vote, going, got people up and out and voted and voting into, get Trump out. But now we still have the Republican Party. I guess, we could call them the RQP. It's not the, GQP. It's not the GOP anymore. It's not the Grand Old Party. It's the Grand QAnon pickle that they're in. So we've got, trouble with them. But there's a big brand new goal. Yeah, of course, that's been the challenge all along, is to get enough people up and out to vote. I mean, one of the big reasons Trump even got in was that over 54% of people did not vote. So we had record turnouts to get rid of Trump. So that's good, and this card is speaking to that. But another one of the challenges, well, with the Six of Pentacles, this is, like giving and receiving. It's a lot of sharing and prosperity and balance, like especially the balance of power. But when it's reversed, this is an abusive power, and there's some strings attached, and there's inequality. So I think this is just speaking more to the biggest challenge has been to get out from under the burden of apathy and to get out from under the burden of inequality and to start a brand new goal. So these three here are just speaking to the situation, which is exactly right. Okay, so now how it's going to go? Well, the magician is awesome for willpower, developing something brand new. You can see the images on the card. It's the card that tells me, like, you can manifest just about anything you want, within reason. You have the power. You can infinitely recreate. This is kind of like Shazam. As above, so below. You have all the tools at your disposal, as long as you're coming from a pure place. And because it came through upright, of course, this card is about, no, we will not take it anymore. The Dems are not going to be wishy-washy. I mean, they weren't. These last 3-4 years have been pretty good. But prior to that, but then again, it's all been on Mitch McConnell. I don't want to place blame on just the Democrats, because Mitch McConnell was just a force for darkness that has really, really done us in. But anyway, with the magician, we can say this is very ambitious, and something is coming through. There's leadership and there's ambition coming through here. With the King of Wands reversed, what's coming through, these cards I think are telling a story. There's new leadership that's going to come through, and there's willpower that will manifest, what it wants. And what it wants is to get rid of corruption. With the King of Wands reversed, this is ruthless and abusive bullies. And so it's like, no more of this. I mean, if you even just look at the images directionally, no more. Like, no more. And what's coming through now is this honoring everything that's sacred. The Queen of Cups to me is, it's the epitome of feminine, like the divine, nurturing, devoted feminine power that's within every human being, male or female, doesn't matter. We all have a masculine and a feminine, side. And this is all about protecting the family, protecting the future. It's the only card in the entire deck of 78 cards that has a lid on the cup, and I think it's because it holds, when I meditated on it, I got, that this cup holds everything that is sacred to life. And, that's what the Queen of Cups is all about. She has everything to do with loyalty and healing and, following your heart. being really connected on a heart level. And of course, you know, there's children. You can see children in the images here. And then moving forward, this with the Five of Cups, this feels like, you know, there's disappointment, there's grief, there's despair. So that has me a little confused. But then with the clarifier here with the Five of Wands, this tells me that there's a struggle. You know, this is a battle. This is a real battle. This is, you know, egos clashing and lots of challenges, basically. So maybe the challenge, maybe the biggest challenge is to not get in that place where you just give up, because this guy's given up. The beautiful thing about this card, let me bring it up closer. See the bridge here? I always look at it and go, you know, he's focusing on, this is kind of, let's see, what do they always call this card? Like the crying over spilt milk. So, I don't know, I hate milk, so I don't even want to think about it, but it's just me. I'm a weirdo. But you can see he's not even looking up. He's looking down. There's a castle back here, and this is the bridge to new life right here. And if he would just turn around and look at what he still has here, then you know, he could turn around, go through, you know, walk along the river of life, get over the bridge, and go home and start over. But instead, he's looking at what he doesn't have. And the more we do that, the more we just get more of that, what we don't have, right? That's part of the laws of manifesting. You don't want to focus on what you don't have, because then you just get more of that, right? So anyway, that's part of the battle. With the Four and Five of Cups here, the biggest part of the battle is for people to not be apathetic and to focus on what we want for a new life. What new life do we want to create that is stable and solid and honors everyone's sacred right to vote? This is all about voting. So there's a battle, and we have been locked in this grief, you know, vicious circle of awful circumstances with, you know, under the reign of Donald Trump. And the only good thing about it is now that all the swamp creatures are up and out, you know, all the rocks have been turned over and we know who they are. And, you know, there's lawsuits galore coming down the line. So this is like part of the problem here. And then with the Seven of Cups reverse, well, this is the card of illusions and fantasy land, you know. And what do I want? You know, here's all do I want the riches or the castle? Do I want fame? This one is to get underneath the veil and get in alignment with like Christ consciousness, which is, you know, everyone's equal. And then we have transformation. We have a dragon here, which could be power. The snake could be something that bites as well. And then we have like the public acclaim. So this guy's looking, going, well, what do I really, really want? It's a card that tells you have options. Well, when it comes to reversed, if this doesn't pass, options are going to be very, very, very limited. And the outcome coming down here is that now there's no one's hiding anything anymore. No one can hide all of this. We know who these players are. We know who you are. So, and all these people, when the vote comes down to it, all these senators, all the senators that vote against HR1, we will know who they are. So, you know, there's that. And then I'm thinking, like, down the line, they probably won't be able to, I doubt that they're going to be able to, you know, be voted back into their positions if they, you know, if they run again in 2022. Because seats come up, you know, they keep coming up. So So anyway, with the Seven of Cups reversed, it does have, you know, the outcome here does have has the element of confusion and feeling trapped and, you know, the lack of options. And it's especially troubling because we've got the Wheel of Fortune here reversed. And that is about delays and being, you know, like stuck in a rut. It's a bit of a setback. So I'm not real happy with this. I don't have the victory card here. I just see a battle. I see it's a worthy battle, and you know why we are where we are is blatantly obvious here with these cards. But moving into the future, this being disappointing and then a lack of options, and then this being a setback or a delay, that has me concerned. So let me pause again and drop the camera down lower and use the little cards to get something more succinct. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm using this little deck here. So maybe Lenormand, I should say. I always want to go Le, and it's not Le, it's Le. By Ryan Edward. It's a combo. They call it the maybe because it's not traditional. It's not a traditional Lenormand deck with only 36 cards. This one has 52 cards, which he combined some gypsy cards, I guess. Okay, so I'm asking again, how's it going to go? What will be, will S1 pass in the Senate? So, okay, there we go. Let me just draw the cards first. If I look at them, I tend to get distracted. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. I mean, I remember Chuck Schumer saying it's not an option that it has to pass. He was saying it absolutely has to pass. But these cards are not good, and neither were the tarot cards. So I'm concerned, and I really hope that I'm wrong. But to be wrong twice with two different systems is pretty unlikely. So what we have here with the whip in the middle is the battle, the fight, the battle. And of course, the tower in the Lenormand, it's the meaning with the tower is this would be our governmental system. This has to do with the institution of our government, and it also has to do with boundaries. So this has to do with our constitutional law. I'm reading this. Well, there's a couple ways we can read the book card, but then again, it's mirroring. So my mirrors here are the mountain, which is a big obstacle, a big block. But then again, you know what? Depends on how you read these cards. The way I learned is not the way everybody else likes to do it. Usually they say when there's a string of negative cards, it just makes it worse and worse and worse. But I look at mice as minimizing, lessening, or eating away something. So now I'm liking this better. I'll draw another string underneath and see, but let's look at this first. So we've got the battle within the government system, the institution. The institution of our government is under a big fight. There's going to be lots of fighting. This could be the filibustering going on. There could be. And I'm pretty sure that Chuck Schumer said that what they could do is to go back to the old rules of where they have to actually they don't call like a cloture vote of 60 or more, or 60, at least 60. What they do is go back to the old filibuster where you have to stand on the floor and keep talking, and the second you stop talking, you lose. They have to keep bringing up different arguments. They have to debate, literally debate on the floor, And that's the rule here. These cards to me are spelling out filibuster. So I think there's going to be a battle to try and end the filibuster, but it could work out well to keep it going for a while. Because it's a law in the books now. So I think this is what Chuck Schumer has up his sleeve. And then, yeah, this is like the end of the evil ways, an end of the complications. The snake card is all about complications. Of course, the coffin is about endings, but they're painful endings you have to go through. They don't just, it's not transformation. It's the transformation doesn't come until after. But then again, sometimes this card is a dismissal. So there's a battle. There's a battle to dismiss S1 on the Senate floor. This has Mitch McConnell. This card has Mitch McConnell all over it. It's toxic. It's detours and complications, and it's an enemy. But then again, it's the end of this enemy. This enemy that if you just imagine this as a big broom or an ugly, dirty, disgusting fly swatter with a bunch of dead flies all over it. And that's what Mitch McConnell's been doing for this, since the beginning. He's known as the Grim Reaper. And, he just swats everything away. He doesn't even let anything come to the floor. So I just need to draw more cards. But this is Mitch McConnell, and this is eating away this blockage that he's brought in. So I think I'm getting the major situation. But let's let me draw 7 cards below. Ooh, so we have the broken mirror, the ship, the letter, that would be the vote, or votes with the stars, lots of votes. The pig has to do with money. That's a celebration, and the fish is like a transaction. Okay, so now I can use a knighting technique where you go like 1 down and 2 over, or 1 up and 2 over. We can go back and forth that way. But so again, here with our theme, there's a battle as to the intention of the future, and then all these like many connections to negativity and toxins. But then again, the connection to the laws that are our guiding star. It's the Constitution, it's the bylaws, it's all of the laws that are on the books, the letter of the law, from our governmental institution, that is the guiding force. This is how we navigate. This is how they will be navigating. Okay, and then, of course, here's the governmental institution and the votes. This card is about breaking through illusions, shattering the past. Shattering the past, and this card with the ship is about change. It's about, wanting to move forward in a really big way. It's ruled by Jupiter, which Jupiter rules the 9th house, and the 9th house is the house of politics in astrology. So it's a journey. Yeah. And then there's this abundance that comes through. This, and the pig is about prosperity. So this is more, maybe this is ending the prosperity of these people who've been taking dark money. I mean, we know that at least a third of the GQP is bought and paid for by Russian oligarchs, and most likely Putin himself. I mean, it's all one, right? And when it comes to the oligarchs and Putin. So there's a beat down of that way of living. And then the fish card, now the fish card can be transactions. It also means many, it's like plenty. So it's going to be plenty of vipers in the pit. There's going to be a lot of a big battle. This card is also about betraying, so they're trying to, with SR1, of course, they're trying to rectify this situation where where the Republican Party has been a betrayal. They've been betraying the right for people to vote. They've been suppressing the vote for, it's all they have left, basically. They can only cheat. They can't win anymore. There are many more. I'd have to look it up again because it changes all the time. There are so many more registered Democrats than there are Republicans, and the only way they've been able to remain in power at all has been through cheating, voter suppression, and gerrymandering. So something's coming to an end. But again, my intention was how will the SR vote? S1 vote go? HR1 is passed. How will S1 go in the Senate? Well, the bill itself is to remove all these limitations. So there's an eating away of the limitations and the betrayals. There's this is also a card of the enemy. I think there's going to be so much exposure here, breaking through all the dark money. And there's a lot of it, and that's been the complication. So this is like, everything Sheldon Whitehouse is fighting for. Yes, he is investigating the Federalist Society, and he may be investigating the Heritage Foundation and Opus Dei and individuals, like the Mercers and any other dark money, big money packs. He's working on that. These things are happening already. Okay, so there's obstacles to, I think I'm just getting many different levels of information here. There are obstacles to the money that's going to be able to be made in the future. And the complications that this money has brought in. All these cards here are about money and celebration and this transactional nature that the GOP has been, operating from. It's so bad. It's so dark. But this is an ending, and this is a breaking up the past, breaking through. It's all so necessary. But will it pass? Will it pass? I'm just gonna now I've got about a 50% chance of being right here. So I'm just going to ask it yes or no. What I've done with this deck is it's the Dreaming Way, Lenormand. I've taken out all the neutral cards, and I'm left with just the yes and no, positive or negative cards. And I'm going to ask, will it pass? Will S1 pass in Senate? Will it pass? That's a yes. But man, is it going to be a battle. I think we're going to have to hold on to our hats. But this is the big yes card. And it's also a card of surprise. So surprise, a nice good surprise. Oh, yay. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys. Whew. That was intense. Okay, but we can hold on to this card here. A big nice surprise. So thanks you guys for hanging in there with me and being patient while I use all these little different systems. But man, I think like I was saying before, I think we're gonna have to hold on to our hats and let's use the intention. So the stars card in the Lenormand is all about intention and putting it out into the universe. So we have to remember, spiritual law says that the universe is bound by law to receive us. So how about we start putting our massive intention and visioning, we need to start imagining and visioning S1 going through the Senate and the Democrats winning and our voting rights in all states restored the way they need to be, so that all these shenanigans and this malarkey, to quote Joe Biden, is stopped, and these states are not allowed to do what they are, because it's been the federal government that has protected the voting rights in the past, and it's the way it needs to go in the future. So let's imagine everybody being able to vote by mail, vote freely. Let's even put it out there that it's one person, one vote, and maybe the electoral college is gone. That would be the next step down the line. There are a lot of things that can happen. DC can become a state. We can add more Supreme Court judges. There are so many things that can happen. So let's start envisioning all of that and everybody having their their voice heard. Everybody should be able to vote that way without ridiculous suppression. I mean, there's been this awful rules they're trying to put in about you can't bring water to somebody standing in line. Well, first of all, how about there shouldn't be standing in line to vote. How about everybody has a paper ballot and it goes through the mail, and we have the USPS back the way it should be, and Louis DeJoy gone. Let's start thinking that way. Or maybe even a completely different voting system. I don't know. That's where they're delivered. I don't know. There's a lot that could be had. So I am so open to your ideas and feedback, and big hugs. Okay. Bye, you guys.